चल हो जा शुरू।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो पतवारा हुआ रे।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
All right, viewers, we're getting some more visuals coming in. This is from Dharamshala. Remember that a high-level U.S. delegation, including former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, they are in India, and they're going to meet the Dalai Lama very soon in Himachal Pradesh. At the same time, China has expressed strong concern over the visit and warned Joe Biden, the president of the U.S., of resolute measures if he decides to sign the Tibet bill aimed to direct funds to counter Beijing's disinformation on Tibet's history. So what we see right now are those visuals coming in. We have our reporter Gursimran on the ground. We can see that the former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is part of that U.S. delegation. This came in as we see that the Republican chair of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, Michael McCaul, is leading the bipartisan congressional delegation to India. So a couple of very important leaders there in India from the US. Now we see that Pelosi will be meeting Dalai Lama very soon. And we have Gursimran joining us live from the Dalai Lama temple in Himachal Pradesh. Gursimran, what is happening right now and when is that expected meeting of the US delegation with the Dalai Lama?
See, if the officials here are to be believed, the meeting will be beginning anytime soon. In the next couple of minutes' time is the time that the meeting will be beginning, because all the members of the U.S. delegation that have come, including the former Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Mitchell McCall, they all have gone inside the residence of His Holiness Dalai Lama. Right now, we are outside the residence of His Holiness Dalai Lama. You will see that now the gates have been closed as the U.S. delegation has gone inside, and we are told that it will be roughly a 30 to 45 minutes long discussion that will take place between the US delegation and Dalai Lama, and it is going to have the implications, at least if not for anyone but for China for sure, because we have seen since the time the US delegation has landed here in India in Himachal Pradesh, Dharamshala, China has been rattled completely. We have seen how the Chinese side, they have been issuing the statement terming that Dalai Lama is not a religious leader but a political leader. That all shows the frustration of the Chinese side, because the bill that is going to be passed, just the signatures of the President Joe Biden are left, and when it is done, it is going to have implications on ground for the Chinese side, which has always been continuing with its expansionist policy. At around 9:15, there is going to be a public address, and for the public address, you will see that not only the school-going children, but also the aged ones and the people from the Tibet, they have arrived. Those who have been living in exile, they are really very keen. They are holding the flags of the United States with them, the flags of the Central Tibetan administration with them, because they are very, very keen that this time it is going to have the impact on what their situation has been for years. This will, they feel, that push the Chinese side to come to the talking terms to them, and the illegal occupation of the Tibet by the Chinese side will come to an end. I'll request Gaurav if he can show you a 360-degree view, and the posters that you see, it has clearly written that heartfelt gratitude to the United States Congress for the resounding passage of the promoting a resolution to the Tibet-China Dispute Act. This is what the people of the Tibet, they are thanking the Central Tibet administration and the Tibet people. Extend heartiest welcome to the high-level United States congressional delegation to Dharamshala. And in a short while from now, the public address of this delegation will begin. The two key addresses that are being kept very close eye on will be of the Nancy Pelosi as well as the Mitchell McCaul, wherein they will be speaking for the 15-minute each. So a 30-minute address that will come from these two stalwarts of the United States delegation, that is going to have really interesting that what they will speak on the United States stand, on the Tibetan people, and also regarding the China. But here you will see that the people have come here in the large numbers to take part in this, to listen to what the people of US has to say when it comes to the Tibet-China dispute. One thing that is very clear that is coming out, one voice, is that the world needs to be united against the oppression and the aggression of the Chinese side, that the China's expansionist policy is not coming to an end. And we have seen time and again that the parliament in exile, the parliamentarians of the Tibet that are in exile in Dharamshala, they have always echoed their voice against the Chinese side, that how China's expansionist policy will not only be restricted to the Tibet, and that we have seen also in the Galwan when China attempted the transgression into the Indian territory, how they were pushed back into their land by the Indian side.
Oh yes, absolutely, Gursimran. And while those pictures speak so much for themselves and the kind of sentiment that has been prevailing for years now, those children really putting it out there. Meanwhile, needless to say, China is rattled. In fact, the Chinese Foreign Ministry releasing that statement where they say that US should not have any contact with the Dalai Group in any form and stop sending the wrong signal to the world, unquote. How do you decipher wrong signal to the world, and is there any reaction? Of course, none officially, but anything that you're picking out from your sources on what the US or the Dalai Group feels on this matter?
See, when it comes to what they feel, it is going to be really very important, because they feel that this is the high time, and they feel it to be one of the reasons that they should be happy about, that at least the world powers are listening to what the people of the Tibet they are feeling. The scores of peoples that have gathered here, this speaks of the volumes, that how people from different walks of the society they are united, and also the different countries, those who have united. I have one of the representatives of the Tibetan administration with me, Mr. Tenzin Lashke. Sir, how do you see this visit of the United States delegation to India, to the people of Tibet, and amid the statements that are coming from the Chinese side?
See, this is the moment, a very important moment for all the Tibetans, not just in exile, but also Tibetans living inside Tibet. This is a symbolic gestures which the United States people, especially the United States Congress, the delegation is here, the high-level delegation is here, headed by Michael McCall, the head of the U.S. Representatives Foreign Affairs Committee. So this is the moment where they are showing solidarity for the Tibetan cause, and this is a very important moment for all of us.
We have seen China saying that Dalai Lama is not a religious figure but a political leader. How do you respond to this?
His Holiness, see, China has been always responding, always been critical for us. Now it is for them to introspect themselves what they have done so far. For His Holiness, for us, he is the spiritual leader. He is the leader for us. And especially when China occupied Tibet, he was our temporal leader. And in 2011, as everybody knows in this world, that His Holiness voluntarily devolved from political leadership. And we have an exiled, elected political leader in India.
When we spoke last in 2016-17, you said that the China's expansionist policy will not only be restricted to Tibet, and that we have seen in Galwan as well. How do you see that it is the high time that all the international powers should come against the China and make a front so that the China's policy of expansionism can be restricted?
See, China has been expansionist for all the time. So they have done it with the territorial expansionism. Now they are doing with economic expansionism. So what we have to understand is it is not what it is right now, because now everybody knows about, all the world knows about what China intends to, what China is doing. So now they are suspicious. of China.
Thank you so much for speaking to us. So it was the Tibetan leadership that was speaking to us that how the China's expansionist policy earlier, it was the territorial expansionism that China was into. They were expanding their territory, but now they are also resorting to the expansionist policy economically as well, and that needs to be restricted, and that's why the world powers needs to come at a common platform. This is going to be really, really very important that this visit of the United States delegation, including the Nancy Pelosi and Mitchell McConnell, that the top leadership of the United States Congress, they are here in India meeting the Tibetan delegation.